Hey, good morning, Southeast team. It's Robert here on Friday. Just a couple quick things for you before we get into the weekend. Want to remind you that we're going into the second half of the season right now. We start April over the weekend, and this is really a time to focus on some very specific things. The first thing I think is important in the transitional time in the spring or in the fall, in that halfway point, is to really check your equipment. Make sure that it looks good. It's not damaged, it's not beat up. Clean it. Do whatever you have to do to make it more presentable, but also making sure that everything is in working order. There's nothing worse than having to cancel an event for failure of equipment. So take a look at all that from your carts and tables and presentation of tablecloths and your cash table, really making sure that it all looks like a nice, neat event and that the equipment is up and running the way it should. Also, your trailers and your box trucks and vehicles, make sure you have those maintenance this time of year so that you can go into the second half strong and not worry about that. The other thing I want you to focus on really and really pay some attention to this week is everyone I think should be placing an order this weekend after your sales reports are finished. This is a really important time to make sure your categories are adequate, that you've got everything covered before you go into the second half of the season. Easter, Mother's Day, of course, are our focuses right now. Have theme tables, create ideas for customers to shop quickly. Many times they only have 5, 10, or 15 minutes at most to come in and shop with us. So make those ideas catch their eye quickly and give them ideas so they can run in, purchase it, and get back out as they're trying to do. So make that easy for them. I also think it's a really good time to focus on removing your quantities of 5 or less in your inventory. The unsold SKU report, of course, is really important to the health of our business and yours. And so when things are not sold for many weeks at a time, many times they're 5 and less. And so it's really time to buy those out and put them out there on your tables and carts as a reduced price. Make sure that price is something that folks can't leave the event without purchasing. It does help you to be clean and much cleaner inventory. It helps us, and it'll put money in your pocket. So I would focus on that in these last second half of the season here. Also, too, we've got some changes coming with our PWP, as you know. Pretty soon we're going to be carrying both the PWP as a light bulb, and we're also going to carry our speaker. And so what's really cool about this time is that we're going to have an opportunity to carry both items and have a $5.99 price point and a $9.99 price point. I think that's awesome for our customers to really have that choice. And it's going to be great to see how that value plays out for them. But I do want to make sure that you understand that the PWP is not designed to be just an add-on at the register. It's really designed for folks to see it and be involved in trying to attempt to get to that price point where they can qualify for this far before they get to the register. So make sure that you have both PWPs put out in your display. It's somewhere in the display, with of course signage to go with that, and then have more at the register so you can reinforce it when they get there. But don't just pile them all up at the register. That really defeats the whole purpose of the PWP. So please keep that in mind. And the other thing I want to just check with you one more time on is that we have been talking about collecting emails for many, many months now, actually over 2 years, and we've actually done a really good job at doing that. The problem is that only a few people are actually taking that and putting it to use like it's really designed for. And our average transactions are up, but our transactions are down. And the reason for transactions being down is, of course, less shoppers sometimes. And so there's other reasons for that as well. But less shoppers is a direct result of not getting the word out. And so I really want you to focus on going back in there, using the e-blast, talking to your contacts one more time and asking them where you can place appropriate signage. It's not good enough just to rely on your old habits of just bringing out a table tents for the cafeteria the day of the event, or sending out just a small amount of flyers. Go back in there, ask them what else you can do. Can you use the parking lot for signage? Can you go and put table tents in restrooms and cafeterias the day of the event? Can you put up signage? Ask those questions as if it's the first time you've been to that event. We have to drive customers down because we know once they walk into our event, they're going to buy. We've got tremendous products right now, and there's no question that our customers are really excited about what we're doing and the changes we're making. But if we don't have customers to see that, you have no opportunity to increase your sales. And so average transactions are important, but first you've got to get those folks down to actually make those transactions. So please focus on that, having another conversation, reaching out to your contact folks, and making sure that they're on board to see this as really a team effort in getting the shoppers down to see what we have. And I think you'll see some more success with that. Listen, I'm going to have a conference call this week, probably Wednesday. And so what I'd like you to do this weekend is just send me a couple notes. If you have some topics you'd like for me to cover, I'm happy to do that. I love that when we get some feedback and some input from you guys. So if you'll just send that out to me this weekend, I'll put that on the agenda if possible, and I'll work through that with you. So I want you all to have a great weekend. Get your sales orders done and place an order so we can make sure that our categories are full and we go into the second half really strong. Check out your equipment. And then again, focus on transactions. Okay? Have a great night and have a great weekend, everybody.